Greetings and salutations, everyone. I hope everyone is still doing well, and welcome back to tonight's second half. Before we get into tonight's second half, a couple links. As you know, I rely on Patreon, PayPal, and the merch to help the channel to continue to grow and go. Links to Patreon and PayPal are in the description below. Merch displayed directly under the video. Also, Dogman, Frightening Encounters, Volume 1 through 3, the audiobook versions. They were written and researched by Tom Lyons, narrated and produced by me, Jeff Nadolny. Those audiobooks are available on Audible, Amazon, and iTunes, so links to which are also in the description as well. And finally, last but definitely not least, if you'd really like to help support this channel to continue to grow and go, simply subscribe. It doesn't cost you a cent. Click that like button. It takes half a second. If you don't want to miss out on any of the informative uploads I put out daily, click that bell icon and please leave a comment. Why? Well, because all of these things, they do help this channel to continue to grow and go. And folks, they definitely matter. Now, everyone, I have taken far too much of your time. Let's jump into tonight's second half, shall we? All right, guys. So for the last 5 years since I have started this channel, I have met quite a few people. And the next person we're going to hear from, I met 3 years ago. A lot of new subscribers have not heard this person's experience. His family for 5 generations were assaulted by Dogman, from his great-grandfather right down to his kids. And it happened in Taylor, Mississippi. For those of you who know, I am talking about Luke. Jeff, why are you going to share this old interview? Well, because I plan on having Luke on the show soon, and I want you guys, all of you, new people included, to be aware of who Luke is and what his family went through. So, here is a couple of interviews that Luke did with me right when he first started the show. He also, by the way, verified who Victor was. Ironically enough, Luke asked for help, and 3 days later, Luke got help. Here's those interviews. All right, everybody. I am happy to bring this to you guys. Luke from Taylor, Mississippi, I had got in touch with him, and he agreed to do a over-the-phone interview. I'm going to do a different format. We're not going to go verbatim the encounters that he had shared with us, with his family. I'm going to give him the floor and let him pretty much run the show, for him to tell you what he's experienced and what he's seen. So without further ado, I give you Luke from Taylor, Mississippi.
Hello, guys. Good evening, good afternoon. How are you? My name is Luke Masrich. I'm from Taylor, Mississippi. I'm 40 years old. And I'm just going to tell you, like, what I've experienced down here as far as what y'all call Dogman, but I call them walking wolves. So pretty much is, I had a normal childhood. Nothing crazy. I always knew about Bigfoot. I never knew about, like, these Dogman creatures actually existed. Yeah, I heard stories from my parents and my grandfather and stuff like that, but I just thought it was just one of them tales to make sure that your kids don't stay out too late to come home and stuff, to come home on time. So it's just a normal childhood. So, like, I had a friend, which I met, I think I was around maybe 7 years old, Joe. It was actual Sasquatch. And it took a while before to like me get comfortable with him, but he never saw me as a threat because he's like fucking like huge. So he would leave me little trinkets and things like that. So like as I got older and stuff like that, we actually became like good friends. I know it sounds like unbelievable. But at the end of the day, this Sasquatch literally watched me grow up all my life. So as there was things that I was noticing that was going on around my property and stuff like that, and I didn't really know what was going on at the time because I was still like somewhat young. My dad and my grandfather at the time was like, "All right, Joe, you need to get in the house, this and that, Joe. There's some animals that we should be dealing with right out there." So I'm like, "All right, well, we got coyotes, whatever. What's that? Mountain lion, cougar, one of them things." So pretty much, all right, I go in there because at the end of the day, I didn't carry no weapon because around my age, a lot of parents let their kids like use firearms, but I never felt that I had any need for it because I never felt threatened until my 20s when I had an encounter with one of these walking wolves, and that when I say that really flipped my view on everything over, it did. Oh man, just give me a second, man. Anyway, so just can you just imagine watching any kind of werewolf movie, like the biggest, baddest, ugliest werewolf with teeth, and imagine one literally standing there a few yards away from you. That was that was something that nightmares was made of. Literally, the thing freaking stood up, and the fingers looked like exaggerated, almost like raccoon hands, like paws, and then fingers. So, like, I literally like thought I was gonna die that day. I thought, like, can I make it back to my house, or can I fight this thing? And then, like, when it pointed to me and stuff like that, I saw a few more popped out. I was like, oh man, this is it. And then, like, I heard like a massive, like, roar type yelling thing that I never heard before in my life. Literally, like, down to my knees in fear. And then not too long later, something was on its way towards me. I'm thinking it's one of these freaking wolves coming from inside of me, and I think it was my friend actually, and he went to bat for me. But y'all already heard this story, but I'm gonna tell you what happened after me getting attacked and stuff like that. I think it was about a couple weeks ago. I had got contacted by one of my friends, Mike, because he lives not too far from me. He lives about like 40 minutes away, still in Mississippi, the next town over, and stuff like that. So he was telling me that he was seeing weird things as well, and giving me a description. He didn't see it verbatim, but he saw the orange glowing eyes, the height of it, and he was really scared for his family. So me and my dad and a couple of his friends went out there to go help him, like, how would you say, secure his home. Like, we reinforced the doors, put security cameras up, put motion detection lights, like security bars on the first level windows and stuff like that. So as we was there throughout the whole day, we didn't have there was no problems whatsoever until nightfall. And then you hear like the howling, the growling, this and that. But other than that, no interaction and stuff like that. So, like, we stayed at his property for a few days, and at the last day, we was pretty much done. It was just it's pretty much getting dark and stuff like that. So it's like, all right, before we leave, we're gonna test out the motion detection light, the floodlights, to make sure that it works properly. So as we're doing that, we hear a growl coming from the woodlots about a few yards out. So we keep our weapons with us at all times ever since like the incident we've been having. So we had our weapons at the arm, and then we was like looking for like the general direction as where the noise was coming from. And then this I think 7 foot. He was like about 7 foot tall, dark brown Dogman stepped out of the brush halfway, growling. And then as we took aim, I thought, like, all right, if he's showing himself, this one of them's trying to flank us. So we're scouting around looking for, like, if there's any other movement. We see another one really, really low to the floor, like trying to approach. So my dad takes aim at that one, and I keep my gun on the one that was in the brush. And literally, seconds before we was about to fire, like 2 canister of like flashbangs comes out towards the creatures and stuff like that. These creatures hightail out of there, and we see green dots like following these creatures. So we're like, what the F is going on? So we're looking into the woods, have a flashlight and stuff. We see like got people in like black, like just shadows, like retreating, following these creatures. So we're pretty much like, what the fuck is going on here? Like, are these things being hunted? Are these normal people? Are these regular people? Is this freaking military? Is this like one of those one of them agents that wear Will's guys? At the end of the day, we didn't know what it was, but we hurried up, finished up, told him that everything was good, and we left. We came back to our property and stuff like that. So like a week or two later went by, he hasn't had no incidents or anything of the nature with the ones that have been stalking his house for a few weeks. But like the encounter that my dad, my grandfather, even I had, like, we know a lot about these creatures. We're not experts, but as far as movements, habits, and these things are very, very, very formidable, yo. They're formidable, they're smart, and they hold a grudge, a serious grudge. So my thing to you guys, to everybody out there who thinks they want to see one of these things or hunt one of these things, yo, that's a big mistake, man. Yo, these things, they like Will said, they come from behind. They also come from the trees. And they're very, very fast. Before you can even get a shot off, they'll be on you in a matter of seconds. Hey, Jeff, do you have any questions for me?
Yeah, I know when you said that they are formidable and hold grudges, a lot of you guys maybe knew or may not have heard his encounter. I did it in parts, and I did it in one large family upload. And his Luke's last encounter showed exactly how smart these creatures are. One entered his home, and he had a firefight. His dad came, luckily enough, to Luke's rescue. I praise God that he did, because it didn't seem, through what you sent me, the email, it didn't seem like you were going to get out without help. Is that a pretty accurate statement?
Yeah, that's a very accurate statement, yo. I had a regular handgun. I had my SOCOM, but at that time it was on the other side of the bed. So first of all, when I see this creature, and I wake up, slowly open my eyes, because I don't know, if you ever had the feeling where something, you could be in the middle of a deep sleep, you feel that something is terribly wrong, and if you move, you're gonna die.
Yeah.
That's literally what that's literally what I felt. I slowly opened my eyes, and I'm like, oh shit. So at that time, something, I don't know what, Joe, but that whole week, ever since I located that thing's den, I had a very ominous feeling like, yo, something bad is really about to happen. Because I usually sleep with my handgun inside my safe, but that time I slept with it under the pillow, because I literally sent my wife and my kids away at that time, because I didn't know what was going down. I was literally terrified. Everywhere I went, I was terrified. And then as this thing happened to freaking be in my bedroom. Of all places, it tracked me to my bedroom, Jeff.
Yeah, and it had to
My
go.
house is not small.
It had to enter your home through a door and go upstairs, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Yes, second floor.
Yeah. So I mean, it literally stalked you. It hunted you, pretty much.
Yes. And then when I was able to get a shot off, and this thing wasn't backing off, I tried to barricade myself inside my bathroom, and the sadistic look on his face, yo, as it was peeling away at the door, it was enjoying it. And just like, you're gonna die today. That's the vibe that I got, that you're gonna die today. So I'm like, yo, I only have a few rounds left, yo. Only thing I could do is like, yo, I here for headshots, but at the end of the day, I can't get a clear headshot. So like, every time I pick away at the door, I'll fire a shot, and I know I hit this thing, because you know when it hit, you know the sound.
There's a thud.
When the bullet hits flesh.
Yeah, there's a thump, or
yes.
There's a sound. Yeah, when it hits anything, it just there's a connection sound. That's insane.
I'm like, oh shit. Yeah, so I'm like, all right, I'm looking at I'm on second floor. I'm like, so at the time, I'm like, I got a bathroom window. I'm like, yo, do I go out through the window? Because I just take the fall, broken ankle or something like that, maybe able to get out. But as fast as everything was going, I didn't even think I had enough time to get to the window and get it open, because it was toying with me, Jeff. If it really went into that bathroom door, it had got in there in a matter of seconds. I think it smelled the fear on me and how terrified I was. So it just continued to pick away at the door, to the point that there was a nice sized hole in there for me to see his entire face. And he's looking right at me through the hole, grinning. And then as that happened, I hear shots going off. So then I hear shots going off. It turns and looks out the bedroom door, because like the way how the house is structured, once you go up the stairs towards the right, about 15, 20 feet over, that's my bedroom door. And it's like wide open and stuff like that. And then just looking down at the angle it was looking out, it was looking down. So obviously there's somebody partially down at the stairs shooting at it. So as he's doing that, I was like, yo, I might as well. So I pulled my gun through the hole, and I'm firing at the last, I think it was 5 rounds that I had. So all you heard is like, so the thing decides to take off. It jumps. It jumps. I don't even know how it. Well, from what my father said, the angle that he was on, he's partially up the stairs. Because it's like a balcony, like, you know how houses, when you go to stairs, there's rails around the whole that separates. There's rails that makes like a U. Yeah. And then it's the stairs. So it jumps over the rail down behind my dad and burst out the door. As he's doing this, all you see is you see blood trails, just freaking heavy blood trails, not light. My dad yelling for me. I didn't answer for a while. So he thought I was dead. I was in shock. It's like you hear something, but you don't hear it. It's just not registering to you. So when it finally did register to me, I was like, yeah. So it come up. He checks me out. I couldn't move my shoulder. My shoulder was freaking torn. I had claw marks. I don't know if I said this. When I noticed it in my room, I grabbed my weapon. I fired at it. As I fired at it, it moved to the side. So I'm trying to make a break for the door, the bedroom door, to run past it. It grabs me by my left shoulder and tosses me back, which hits me throws me almost went through my wall. That's how hard it hit me, and I was getting disoriented. So that, at the time, because
are you a big guy?
Over to the right.
Are you a big guy? How big are you?
I'm 6'2", 250.
So I mean, this thing tossed you like you were a child, pretty much.
It was about a foot and a half taller than me.
Wow. All right, I didn't mean to cut you off. I just wanted to...
No, it's not. It's all right. I got an 8-foot ceiling, and it's like almost there, like with a maybe 6-7 inch gap from hitting the top of the ceiling. The doors are like a good 6.5, 7 foot tall, but it had to duck to get inside the doorway.
That is terrifying.
Yeah, so...
Now, what was your dad...
What was the last thing that I said?
Oh, I'm sorry.
I'm sorry?
What was... You were firing, what was it, a 45 or a 9?
45.
Okay, and your dad had, what, a 223?
I don't know. He actually had a, what's that? He had an AR, no. He had a SOCOM.
Okay, so a 7.62. So you guys were, how many times do you think you made connection, all in all? Just you?
Just me?
Yeah.
6 times.
And then your dad was shooting upwards towards it. What do you think?
Yes.
Does he have a calculation?
He hit it. Okay. He had it in the scopes. It didn't know that he was there. He hit it at least a good with the firing rounds. He hit like a good maybe 7 or 8 times as well. Okay.
All right. And then shortly after, I remember you sent me this encounter. And then you left. Is that what happened? You left. You're pretty much selling that property now, right?
Yeah, I actually put it on the market. It was going to sell, but I took it off the market because me and my dad was like, "Yo, we can't, knowing what's going on over here, to have somebody else purchase this property would be like a heavy burden on ourselves." So at the end of the day, my dad had called a few of his friends because they work construction and some of them do security stuff. So we pretty much we reinforce. We don't put fences up. People's like, "Oh, just put a 7-foot fence." I'm like, these things jump clear over 15 feet high if they wanted to. A 7-foot fence is not going to stop them from getting on your property. So the best thing to do is put spotlights, motion sensor spotlights, reinforce it. We reinforce the door, put security bars on the first level and things like that. Ever since then, we really haven't had anything on our property. Because if something would come on our property, the light will come on. And these things, for the most part, like to stay in the darkness. But I'm going to let you know this, just because they like to stay in the darkness, if they're really pissed with you, they will come into the light and attack you. So don't also just think, as long as we got light, that we're safe. You're not really safe with these creatures, yo. Honestly, though, if you have a Dogman encounter or Dogman experience in your neighborhood, Joe, as long as you don't piss it off, stay away from it, Joe. If it shows up in your window, don't. Our mistake, yo. I think the reason why we had so much bad misfortune was, yo, because as terrifying as these creatures are, the first thing when you're scared of something that terrifies you, looks like a freaking monster, you're gonna shoot the goddamn thing.
Yeah, yeah.
And now, I guess that was what triggers them. Because at the end of the day, they're like Bigfoot. They're curious. Most times, yo, they will maybe not mess with you, but the minute you show aggression towards them, yo, they will not stop until they get what they want from the situation. And I learned that the hard way.
Now, shortly after, do you think the body you found was that one body? Was it? Do you think it was that?
I was sure of it. It was it was the same body because we buried the body because we didn't want anybody else or anything else get to it. And we saw all the bullet wounds and the entry wounds of it. Like you had one, two, three. It had about 4 in the chest, right below the sternum. Another one was where I believe his lungs would be. I think that what actually finally put it down because the muscle thickness on this creature is really, really thick. So I didn't really think that part made it damage. But I think the angle that my dad was standing from and he fired, he was able to hit a soft tissue and able to puncture the lung.
Yep.
Because of where we are, because that night when it what I did notice, yo, before I was rushed to the hospital and stuff like that, yo, like, I don't know if, like, if you're a hunter and stuff like that, yo, if you have a lung shot, you'll see, like, bubbles in the blood and stuff like that. Like, air pockets. So that'll let you know that that was a lung shot. So as we saw that, and I pretty much, like, we didn't really, like, touch it verbatim. We had gloves on because we didn't really want our scent to be on this thing because we don't know, like, as far as there's more. We already know our scent was in the area, but as far as on the creature, that actually led more to us.
Yeah, you did definitely not want a big link like that, you know. That's a murder link right there for them.
Yeah, so we pretty much, yo, we was precautious when we like we went to move the body. Yo, that body was heavy, man. That body was heavy, like heavy. It took like what, 3 of us, like, giving it everything that we had to just move the fucking body, man.
And then
the way that it felt like that one, yeah. Go ahead.
Then you buried it, and shortly after,
we didn't bury it too far. We just, shortly after I contacted you to contact William, he sent in some people there because the body was like maybe about 30, 40 yards from the main road. So we didn't want somebody to freaking, like, go over there, see it, touch it, this and that. And being that there's Dogman in the area, possibly that'll put them in danger. So from the road, from where the tree, the area where we put it was like maybe another like maybe 10 yards that we moved it in. Like we dug it deep enough hole, buried it, and then we put like rocks around it, like around it, so you can like even somebody like, so if William was looking for it, he's like, this is weird. Let me check this out, you know.
Yeah, and you gave the exact coordinates to both locations, the den and the body. And then shortly after was the encounter with your friend Mike, and then the men in black appeared. And that's insanity.
Like, see, people, what I don't get is, yo, people, there's black and white and gray. People live in black and white. Yo, at the end of the day, yo, this, like, about 65% of this world has not been explored. People say that I'm an avid hunter, but you being an avid hunter, have you been through every neck of the woods? There's certain parts that us as human beings can't get through without machinery and stuff like that. And these are where these creatures stay. Bigfoot, Dogman, I'm pretty sure werewolves too.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, we were talking.
Just because you haven't seen something doesn't mean. I'm sorry?
No, you finished what you were saying. I'm sorry.
No, I'm saying just because you haven't seen it does not mean it doesn't exist.
Yeah. We were talking earlier.
Like, yo, you see God.
Yeah, you don't see God.
Right, a lot of people in this world is Christian. You don't see him, but you know he exists.
Yeah.
So what's the difference between them?
There's evidence every day of the God or Great Spirit or whatever. Yeah. We were talking earlier, and prior to the interview, and I was talking about the Oklahoma, and I said, like that den, and it was by a creek.
Yeah.
And then you immediately said, the den that is by my house is by water. And I found that really interesting because, it's very similar as a traveling or, like just a pit stop, let's say, just like a little roach motel for them to hang out and then move on to the next place where they're going.
Yeah, it's what they usually, like, what I've noticed they do, like, just from, like, the observation and things like that, they take the waterway. They're not too far from the waterway. They use the waterway to travel, actually. They'll travel along the waterway because most times waterway is, like, well away from, like, the public view and stuff like that, and it's easier to get to different locations because it's a straight route depending on where they want to go, and it's unblocked. And then when they're tired, they'll dig a hole, and these things can dig, and they dig relatively fast.
Yeah. Now, for everyone that, is hearing this and has not heard Luke's family encounter, I urge you, it's listed Taylor, Mississippi. It's about 10 videos from this one. And his family has had, this is generations. It started with his granddad having an encounter, but his great-granddad actually saved his granddad's life. So when me and Luke were talking, I was like, this is 5 generations. Now, the property that you live on, is that the same property or around where your granddad's property was?
Yeah, see, our property is not that big, so we put about 3 houses on that property. So the houses are like maybe about 3 minutes by ATV.
Okay.
So at the end, you could just step out and look. You can walk there. It'll take you like 5 minutes to walk. But they're pretty close together. So at the end of the day, if we what happened in the past, Joe, for us not to hear what was going on, it was an ambush. He didn't even know that it was happening. Wasn't even able to get a shot off. Nothing. What my dad believed at the time, this thing was stalking him and watching his every moment. So it was stalking him for days,
Yeah.
And found the opening and took it.
Luke's talking about his granddad. What happened, once again, it's up, but Luke got attacked. He had shared that, and the Sasquatch, his friend, went to battle. Luke got out, went to see his dad. His granddad got contacted. His granddad felt obligated to go and help the Sasquatch. Shortly after, Luke's granddad was found dead in his barn. Not eaten, but just torn apart. And, his granddad had years of experience with what they call the walking wolves. And it is a sad and terrifying encounter that his family has had to endure. And I don't even know. I can't fathom what your family, has gone through. It's crazy.
Yeah, it is. But at the end of the day, my granddad is in a better place. I hate the fact that he went out the way he did, though. But I personally think the reason why I survived that night is because my granddad gave my dad a nudge, like, yo, your son is in danger. Go to him. Because my dad woke up out of his sleep. He wasn't sure it was a gunshot. He thought it was a gunshot, but he wasn't sure. But something was urging him to come to me, which he did. So, and then from that point on, it's still the reason why I'm alive today with my father's help.
And like Luke said about the property, his dad heard that shot and, got that nudge, and he came down on an ATV. So, I mean, in his boxers. Yeah. In his boxers. The boxers and a tank top. On an ATV with his SOCOM. That's, I couldn't not believe that. That's, wow. It is a crazy, crazy story. And when you messaged me, I never forget that day. You emailed me and you said, I got a couple encounters. I want to share the first one with you. And I read it and I put it up. And then shortly later, you sent the next one. And I think it was about 5 different emails. And Luke's story has blown me away. I was just telling him, I said, I don't even know how many videos, 400. And there's a couple that stick out, and his is one of them. And it's not because it's fresh. It's because it is one of those stories that you hear and just stays with you, because it's it's terrifying. It's informative. It's terrifying, but it's crazy. I have no word for it other than informative and terrifying. And I really appreciate you sharing your encounters with us. I feel terrible that your granddad had to pay the ultimate price, but like you said, he is in a better place. Is there anything else you'd like to share with everybody? I mean, the floor is yours. We got a couple more minutes.
I just want to say, like, I just want to, just to the general public, for y'all believers and y'all non-believers out there, at the end of the day, if you're going to go into the woods, just stay armed, just keep an open possibility, because a closed mind might be the cost of your life. At the end of the day, these things are out there, they see you before you see them. Most times when you've been in the woods, they see you, but they don't really mess with you because they have no need to. But you do have some of those that do stray away and do want to mess with you. So don't get caught with your jaws open like, oh, these things though is this, and then you run into one and you don't know what to do and you end up being the next victim. So, guys, please stay safe out there, These creatures are out there, man. These creatures are out there, The reason why there's bodies, it's been proven bodies, but every time somebody puts a body up, the government checks it. I have my proof, which I'm not going to put out there until the time is right. So, by the end of the day, y'all need to stay safe, and carry a firearm with you. It doesn't have to be a high-powered firearm, but at the end of the day, they know what they are, and most times they will back off. But do not shoot unless you absolutely have to. And if you do, like Will said, try to get them in the chest or slow them down and go for a headshot. Because at the end of the day, not too many people can operate a high-powered rifle or high-powered hand cannon. My thing is, what I realized works for me, like when I can't operate, like when I'm only using like a lower issue, if I can generally just aim for the knee joint, that'll slow them down.
Yeah.
FYI, that will slow them down, and that'll cause them to trip up the fumble for you to either get away or get a kill shot. But most times you feel like you don't get a kill shot if you can get them in their legs, because that's the only muscle. It's a strong muscle, but that's the only muscle that has soft tissue in it that will cause them to hurt. Well,
wow.
Just stay safe out there, guys.
Luke, I want to thank you very much, and you have no idea how much this means to me. Like I said, your story has stuck with me, and it's just truly, it's an amazing encounter. I want to wish you and your family good luck with everything, and I hope and pray that this all ends for you right now. You guys, your whole family's been through enough, and I hope it ends. So with that, my friend, I am gonna bid you farewell. All right.
All right. Have a good one.
You too. That was Luke's first interview that he did with me 3 years ago. Now, this next interview is one that he did 2.5 years ago when the government was involved in things going on in his property in Taylor, Mississippi, and trying to keep him quiet. All right, everybody. I was able to get in touch with Luke. He had to take some medicine, which kind of knocked him out. We've all been waiting to hear and saying prayers for Luke. So, Luke, how are you, my friend?
Hey, guys. I have better days, but I want to thank everybody for their prayers. I'm sorry if I sound a little bit horrible right now. I'm still not like 100% myself. I'm still a little groggy from my medicine that I have to take. So, but I am doing well. I can't eat regular food right now. I'm eating like puree stuff and mashed potatoes, but that's only for a few weeks. I want to thank everybody for your prayers. That really did help because it's been a real tough year for me. So as you can see, and thank you guys.
No, thank you. Thank you for sharing everything that you have with us and putting yourself out there. I appreciate it. And, you know, the only thing we can do is say prayers for you, you know.
Thank you. And my wife appreciate the prayers too.
So, last time we talked to you, things had kind of quieted down, but not really. The people were lurking around your property. What happened? What transpired to put you into this predicament that you're in right now?
All right, so as y'all know that pretty much my property, or pretty much Taylor, Mississippi, a lot of towns in Mississippi are hot spots. Not hot spots, but just like well traversed for these walking wolves. So pretty much like what I did was I went out actually a few days ago prior to my incident. I went to go buy some trail cams because I was going to put them on like every square inch of my property. I had a few of them, so I wanted to get some like shots. So I can actually send them into you, and you can see the areas. I just like my house area, so people won't figure out where I live. But I was going to show like I was going to place it like around a dead area, this, that, and third. So pretty much what happened was, so I bought a couple of the trail cams. So I was walking my property to find the best areas for some footage at the time for the subscribers. It was pretty much during the day. Like, you know, the chances of people running into these walking wolves during the day is like 15%. But I guess for me, on the other hand, it's like 85%.
Right.
So as I was walking, I heard something in the brush about 100 yards away. So I pulled my phone out to zoom in and got a lock on it. As I was focusing, I saw something creeping up. And it was about 50 yards away. Actually, no, it was about 100 yards away in a brush. So when I zoomed on it, I happened to see it was one of those walking wolves. Excuse me. So when I saw what it was, I saw that it was focusing on something else. So what I did was I crept up on it. So I got about 60 yards of it to see what it was hunting. And I saw this young kid, had to be like in his mid-20s in a polo shirt and khaki pants and what appears to be like a badge on his belt clip. And at the time, the kid looked extremely nervous, like it was his first day on the job. And he had no idea what he signed up for. Then it dawned on me he was kibbles and bits for this hungry wolf. So I yelled, "You are being hunted, don't move." So guess what the kid does? He moves, trying to reach for his gun, forcing me to pull out my handgun and fire shots in the direction of the wolf, because it was charging him. And then I guess once I let off the shot, it beeline for me instead. And then I told the kid, "Don't shoot it," because I was waiting for it to get close enough to try to get a kill shot. So again, the kid didn't listen. He fires a few rounds. One of it ended up hitting me in my mid-ribs and my stomach. And this thing is about 20 yards from me. And it trips, causing me to break its fall. As we fall off to a ditch, was like about 4 feet high. I believe I hit my head on a rock. So that's pretty much like how my injuries occurred. From Ahmed saying that he was trying to kill me. Nah, he wasn't trying to kill me, but he was a little bit reckless with it. You know?
Right. So was that the first one that you've seen in a while on the property?
Yes. I'm gonna get into that, Joe, because yes, after I got discharged, there's a lot of things that happened actually. So I'm gonna tell you how with the whole the gun runner charges and all that other stuff.
Yeah.
I'm about to tell you all about that. So after being discharged, I met up with the kid supervisor, and he was on the job. He asked to contact me. So pretty much what happened was I met with the kid supervisor, and the kid's job was to contact me and ask them, can they survey a certain area of my property for a couple of weeks, telling me it's the largest herd of so-called bears that they ever migrated this way, and they wanted to keep civilians from running into them. He also wanted to apologize for everything that happened when he saw his agent. When his agent saw me, he thought I was dead, bleeding from multiple areas, not knowing I was unconscious from the impact. So they ran a story of a gun runner to cover up their tracks, which they said would drop due to insignificant evidence. So what they did was they made the story, and then it was going to drop it later, just to cover why they were there and stuff like that. They say these ones are extremely aggressive, and I should stay clear of them. Then I was offered a settlement for like $150,000, and they thanked me for saving their agent. While I was under the hospital, while I was in the hospital, like I was, you know, when you're unconscious, you can still hear things.
Yeah.
Yeah. So pretty much, I heard what I believe was like hospital staff and like maybe one of those agents talking, and which leads me to believe that these people have like hospital staffs or medical staffs in a lot of hospitals to monitor certain things, like as far as like certain incidents, whether it's like certain kind of animal attack, this, that, or third. So they don't. It's weird because I heard them like it was I don't remember it per se though, but it was like a trigger word that made me think that they work with them. But that's pretty much what's going on with me in this. So I did give them permission to go to be on my property for the time being. So like they gave me this I have this paperwork. I read through it. It's like
so that one walking wolf that you saw, there's apparently more. Are they using the den on your property? Do you know about if they're using that? Because, I mean,
the area that they're going to be in is the area where the den is. So I'm pretty sure what they're going to do, if they haven't done it already, is like maybe set up a trap or set up some kind of surveillance area. They might try to. I don't know if they're still doing a program, if they're going to capture them or eliminate them. But at the time, they figured, since like they got a few reports over the years that they've been like my property runs into like straight into the woods and stuff like that. So they have to cross my property to get to the other side.
Right.
So they figured that would be the best spot, due to the fact that the curiosity of these walking bulls, there's 9 times out of 10 they might stop on my property. I do have surveillance cameras up around my house and certain measures and stuff like that. Somebody told me to put a 6-foot fence. I laughed at them.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, just put a 6-foot fence. I'm like, you aware how high these things can jump?
So pretty much, the government, not only are they able to use the news to cover up stuff, but they have employees in different places working for them to help cover up, which would be a hospital. I'm imagining police stations, places where if an encounter happens, it's easy to cover up with their own staff. So
yeah, just think about it. Say somebody gets into an accident, suppose an unidentified animal attack, this and that, and then the wounds that they feel, they've never seen it before. So what the people can do, because I've seen this happen, they can just erase, they could take care of the patient, treat them, send them home, come back to pay a bill. There is no bill because she was never here.
Right.
Record showed that she was never there. And it's a click of a button.
That's
so
absolutely crazy. I'm so glad that you're okay. When I got the email from your wife, it none of it made sense, and with the gun running and this and that, the illegal stuff that was going on, I was like, this does not make any sense. And then you emailed me maybe I got 2-3 emails from your wife, and then a week later, I'd say, I got the email from you saying you're okay, you'll explain things, and now this makes sense because everyone was like, illegal gun running, what the hell, warrants, and it was so bizarre, and now it makes sense.
Oh, let me tell you something about the warrants, though. That's one thing I forgot. I talked about the warrant show. Even though they did the illegal gun running as a cover-up, they still got warrants because they was looking for specific things that they believed I had on my property that was contained in these walking bullets.
Okay.
And I believe they did get certain things that I actually had hidden because they had to search the house. But they didn't, like you said, they didn't find no weapons or everything was registered. But like certain things, evidence, pictures, such and such, like things that I had sent you prior, that they have that.
Okay. All right. So they were covering their ass on all the angles, pretty much.
Yeah.
That's
and
crazy.
Before my dad realized what was happening, they was in and out. They got what they wanted. It was gone.
Yeah.
Because my wife had told my dad, like, hold up, no, that's not what's gonna happen. But by that time, it was too late. They did what they was gonna do. So I was gonna bring that up. How am I gonna? I can't prove it.
Yeah.
I can't prove it. It's just not mine. And even I could, they'll make it disappear, make me look crazy. So I was like, you know what? I gotta have plenty of chances to get more.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's why. So.
Wow, I can't even. How are you feeling though? Are you feeling all right? How's you got? How many broken ribs?
I'm sorry.
How many ribs? I mean, so you got some rib damage, concussion.
Oh, concussion, a hole in my stomach.
Jeez, crow. Well, I can let you know, and I'm sure that you've saw the comments that a lot of people were saying prayers for you and keeping their fingers crossed. Since day one, when you sent me your first encounter, you've been part of this family on this channel, and then the very first interview, I think you connected with a lot of people because they could hear the honesty and how good of a guy you are. So I appreciate that too. And, I'll keep you in my prayers for ever, probably. So
thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Well, I do want to tell you and the listeners one thing, though. Y'all might think I'm crazy for what I'm about to say, though, but me and my dad do plan on taking a trip back to Georgia Mountains. Just me and him.
Yeah, just to go see the old guy there, see if he's all right.
Yeah, I have to see if they were the traitor or not, or it's just his personality now.
Yeah.
So it just means I just can't leave that alone. I'm sorry. So they were like,
yeah.
He was like, what if you run into this? At the end of the day, right now, I know the general area that he's supposedly in. So I'm gonna get as close to that area as possible. And these like I said in the past interview, if there's probably one on every section of it, they won't cross each other's territory.
Right.
They won't. So.
Wow. Yeah, well, when you do go there, keep us in the loop, because I'd certainly like to know how that trip came out.
Oh, in the loop. I got a GoPro. I'm about to record everything.
That would be amazing. That would be truly amazing. We plan on doing that this fall when you're healed up, or next spring.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right, this fall. I'm trying to get there before it gets really, really cold and stuff like that.
Yeah. Just make sure you're healed
They
up.
don't stay there too long. Yeah.
Now, since you've been home,
They don't stay there.
since you've been
I'm sorry?
home, has there been any walking wolves, any sightings, and nothing? It's just been quiet now.
Yeah, it's been quiet.
Good.
Plus, these people are already on my property, so they're doing their things. You see a couple of blacked out SUVs and things like that. So
Yeah.
I mean, yes, at the end of the day, they sound. This guy sounded like really concerned about like what's coming. Supposedly this before. So I'm like the most I ever see during their like migratory periods, like maybe like 5 or 6. And he said it's way more than that, way more than that. So it's like he said like it's like something is going on with them, that they're all literally ganging together.
You know,
So I don't know. It's like, I'm sorry.
I was thinking about that when you had just said that there were a lot of them, more than they've normally seen. Just recently, I don't know if you heard the episode where the gentleman reached out from Pennsylvania, where he had shot one in the face.
Yeah, I did.
Now, he said there was multiple ones in the woods that they could hear. And then another subscriber of mine from Virginia just shared that a lot of the animals that were missing are coming back, and bear is coming back, and so the bear are coming off the mountain, which would be going toward your way. You know,
Yeah.
it seems like they're going south for some reason, and I hope they're able to stop whatever's going on, because there's been a lot of sightings on the southeast.
Yeah, there's a lot of fighting, a lot of chaos.
Yeah, I just hope there's no more attacks.
I know. I wanted to speak on the guy in Pennsylvania. When he did that howl, he has to be careful, man. He's been marked by them because he got the strongest scent on him. He got the scent of the blood on him. They could track him for hundreds of miles with that scent alone. So I'm not 100% sure that they know where he lives right now. So he needs to be careful at all costs. And that's why I feel like those agents are staying at his property or just watching him, because they know what's about to go down. So they're trying to catch them before it does go down. Because that's the worst thing. Because if you hurt, like my situation, if you hurt one of them, and the only thing I did was get my scent on their property or their den or whatever, and they was able to like track me to my house. So imagine a scent of a blood scent of a walking wolf. How strong and potent that is. They could track that for hundreds of miles, man. Yeah. No matter where you go.
That's a great observation, man. That's a good observation. Thank you. That makes a lot more sense than them just hanging out because he reached out to me. You know, they washed his truck and washed his trailer down, but like you just said, he has the blood on his clothes. He's marked, like it's there, and that's.
The howl was a sound off.
Yeah.
You know, when he said the howl, there's only a few other times when I heard howls like that from multiple areas, and that's when it was like, all right, you're marked. We might not come for you today, tomorrow, but we're going to be watching you and find out when your weak points are, and they will attack them. I'm hoping that the people that are camping catches them before they do. But he needs to stay careful and keep a gun with him at all times, because when I heard that story, I got chills, man.
Yeah, he's got his 40,
I got chills.
He's got his 45 with him every day. He should probably.
Yeah,
I think
him.
he talked to that agent, and he said that he had a 10 millimeter. So I think he's probably going to upgrade. Just from, you know, like I said, I've not communicated with him since the last email he sent me. But just going off of what he said, he seems like an intelligent guy. He seems like he's asking the right questions. Hey, what kind of, to an agent that deals with these things, well, what kind of pistol do you have? You know, like, and so
that's smart.
Hopefully nothing happens to the guy. I know that he's scared, that he thinks the the agents are looking to hurt him, and he's a young guy
The
like
agents don't
us.
want nothing to do with him. They don't want nothing to do with him.
Right.
The worst thing they'll do is try to scare you a little bit, Joe, but they will not put no hands on you.
Right.
And they could avoid that at all costs, Joe.
Yep.
But right now, what they want, because, you got to think about it, Joe. Because he killed one of them walking wolves. It's blood all over him. And you heard how they saw him. They smelled it on him. And that scent, they use scent, like certain kind of scent to find their pack mate. So when you have their blood, the strongest scent of an animal is their blood, and they can track that. And that just for knowing that those people around was what caused that, and then he's not too far from the area that it's happened. Them things, they travel. They travel, and the scent of blood can stay in the air depending on like where it is, how it's traveled for days. We can't smell blood, but they can.
Right. Right.
So right now, it's not that they want to scare him. They literally. I'm not too big on the ages and stuff like that because I think some of them do shady stuff though. But in his case, they have a feeling that there's going to have some kind of retaliation. Because I've seen it happen before. It happened to me. It happened in my whole family, pretty much.
Yeah. Yeah.
So.
Absolutely. You of all people would know. You know, I mean, your family has been tormented by these things for generations. So. Well.
Yeah, man. I'm like, honestly though, back to the story ahead. If that young agent didn't like do what he did and just listen, Joe, both of them just walked out of it unharmed. But he was new at the job. He almost cost me my life and his. My thing is, I'm lucky that the freaking thing tripped, Joe. I'm sorry, but it's not a funny matter though. Being shot, it's twice. I just seen something that's supposedly charging you just suddenly falls and start tumbling towards you. But I think it was like some kind of like one of the roots were up from where it was running.
Right. So it just tumbled over.
Yeah, it tumbled over. It was comical, man. One day, when I do look back at it, I will laugh. But not right now because it hurts like hell.
So, how long does the doctor say that you'll be down and out?
Honestly, I'm supposed to be out for like at least about a month and a half. But I think I'll be well back in it a lot sooner because I'm stubborn as hell. I don't like being told that I can't do nothing because I'm just going to do it anyway.
Yeah, you definitely.
So,
just from the little bit of time that I've known you, I know that you're not out for the count. You need a little break, and then you're gonna go back swinging.
Yeah, full swinging. But I'm gonna try. Once I get like up to it, I'm gonna start sending out the trail cams. But I'm gonna keep it away from the area because supposedly they're earlier supposed to be like top secret and shit like that. So another thing is, they have some kind of disruptor up. Like every time I try to take an image or something, I don't know. It doesn't capture the image. I don't know what the hell's going on, but I'm figuring that they got some kind of disruptor up, signal interference or something.
Huh? That's crazy. Just so you can't take pictures or communicate. Yeah, that's weird.
Yeah, I can take the pictures. I just can't send them.
Right. So, I really appreciate you contacting me. I'm sorry that I really felt bad at 3 because I was like, oh man, I have this thing to do. And then I was like 4. I was really worried about you at 4 when I texted you. And then I gave you a call and I didn't hear from you. I was like, I hope he's okay. I really do. You know. And
that was all right. took my medicine. It had me sleeping like a baby. I'm sorry, but
No.
I woke up like, oh shit. I was supposed to do it like about a few hours ago.
Oh, it's fine. I was just worried about your physical well-being, you know. So, I mean, an interview can wait. So, well, all right,
yeah, let me tell you one thing. They gave me a wheelchair.
They're fun, aren't they? They're fun.
Ask my wife if I'm using that wheelchair.
Huh.
That shit's sitting in the corner somewhere. Like,
Yeah.
I'm not. Oh, and you gotta take it easy. You don't want to tear your stitches. I'm like, yo, I've been stitched up before. This ain't nothing new to me. The last time I got shot is when I first got a gun. I shot myself in the foot. That shit was funny. That shit was funny. That shit hurt like hell, but I was laughing. But they was like, how the hell you shoot yourself in the foot?
Yeah. So, I'm glad you're doing good. You've got my number. We've got emails. Thank your wife, please, for reaching out to me and letting us know everything. When I got the email, I was shocked. I was just like, what the hell is going on, you know? And I'm just so glad that we knew you were okay at the end of it all. And so,
I know you're right. I was like thinking to myself, I was like, yeah, definitely. I was like, hey, this man can't stay out of trouble, yo. He always get. I was like, oh my God, this shit follows me everywhere I go, man.
Yeah, none of it made sense. Like, she reached out to me, and it was a text or an email. I'm not really sure. I think it was a text, just saying, "This is Luke's wife. Don't call him. I've got to turn his phone over to him. He's in the hospital. I'll email you something. I'll email you more news later." And I'm just like, what the is going on? Like, just like, holy cow.
Yeah, that thing threw me for a loop. So it was like, yo, another thing that you just brought up, yo. When I talked to the guy, none of them asked for my phone. Somebody else asked for the phone. And I don't know who it was because he swore up and down it wasn't his guys.
Wow. Probably someone.
Yeah, the only place he went. So, did you get the pictures that I sent you?
I got the picture of the den. That's all that I got today.
No, I sent you. I actually sent you some actual pictures. I took a couple pictures of what I saw that day before I got injured.
No, I didn't get any of the pictures.
So, yeah, that was that. Actually, no. Go back into. I'm sorry. My wife sent those pictures. She told me she sent you those pictures.
No, I didn't get any pictures.
I'll try resending them again, but that was what attacked us or me pretty much.
Right.
So I'll resend those pictures for you because I took before I got up close to it because I used the camera to zoom in, so when I was able to get a sight of it, I took a few pictures, and then I switched to audio right before I went inside a little dark area. But, yeah.
All right, well, I look forward to seeing them, but, yeah, that'll be crazy. So, the kid is okay, too, though?
I'm sorry?
The kid, the young agent, he's okay?
Oh, he's shipping out. I think he's on desk duty for now.
Yeah, I betcha.
Because I'm like, yo, you just because think about it, you shot 2 civilians.
Yeah.
You shot a civilian twice on the field film, and then you failed your mission. And you almost got yourself killed. So if he wasn't on desk duty, oh, man, I don't know. But right now, I'm just waiting for that settlement to come in.
Well, I hope it comes in fast for you because you definitely deserve it. You and your family have been through enough with these things, and you know, few people that I've talked to are just like, I don't know how Luke can stay on the land that he's staying on, and I'm like, well, it's his family's property. He's been in his family for generations. He's not gonna let it go, and you know, so you guys definitely deserve some compensation for the crap you've been through.
For the most part, other than those few instances, yo, when they come through, they just come through. They'll peek through a window here and there, though. But they don't really bother. They don't really bother us. It's like, yo, at the end of the day, yo, I don't want to say that I'm used to them. I'm like complacent with them, if that makes sense.
Right.
And for the big part, yo, it's like, yo, you don't bother me, I won't shoot you. Because everywhere, yo, even, yo, I'm sorry to say, yo, everybody in my family carries weapons. Everybody. And when I say everybody, I mean everybody.
Well, it's your Second Amendment right, brother. It's your Second Amendment right. Me and you, we've talked many times, and you know where I stand on the Second Amendment, so.
I agree. But yeah, if you can get word to that guy from Pennsylvania, just tell him to watch his back, and if he can, just put up some spotlights.
Yeah, I'm
gonna spotlights.
I'm gonna actually email him. I'm hoping that he had like a burner email set up. I'm hoping that he kept it and that he's checking it periodically. Or if he just listens.
Leave him a message on your channel, because I'm pretty sure he listens to the channel. So and then he'll find a way to get in contact with you if need be.
Yeah, I was just gonna say. I mean, and if he doesn't have the email, he's gonna hear. Hopefully, he'll hear this, and maybe it'll make some sense to him. Like, hey, I better be a little more careful, and maybe try to approach one of the agents and say, hey, what the hell's going on? Is my family safe?
I don't know if they'll disclose that, depending on who you talks to, if the person is cool or not.
Right.
But they're there, though. They're there not because of him. They're there because of him, but they're there mainly to stop a problem from occurring.
Yep, that's
so,
absolutely right.
Pretty much, when they got him. Because them people will be stationed there for a while, actually, before they leave. So,
yeah, I bet you. Yeah, for a good couple of months at least. 6 months, maybe.
Yeah.
Or at least until they can, if they can figure out if he is getting tracked, if they can take it out before it, sets any.
Yeah.
So. Well, all right, brother. I'm running out of time on recording, and I want to get you to get some rest. Luke, it's always a pleasure having you on the channel.
Thank you, guys.
It's a pleasure just shooting the shit with you, so
yeah.
You're going to be in my prayers, and I'm probably 14,000 other people's prayers. So
I appreciate it, guys. Thank you, every one of y'all.
All right, brother. Well, I'm going to say goodnight to you, and if you need anything, give me a holler or send me an email, all right?
Yeah, once I get everything up and going with these trail cams and then my trip, I'll definitely keep y'all posted.
Definitely. All right. Please don't send the pictures either. Luke, you're breaking up. Luke, your phone just did some weird stuff, buddy. There's an echo. It's really staticky right now.
I'm sorry, man.
That's all right. It's not your fault, buddy. Are you there?
You can hear me?
It's like a really weird echo. It's not picking up. It's not going to pick up on the mic.
Can you hear me?
Yep, that's better. Hello?
All right, good. Yeah, sorry about that, guys.
That's all
right.
right.
Yeah, I was saying that pretty soon I'm trying to get y'all some like undisputable footage and proof and things like that, Joe. For all the listeners who want to know what a real one looks like and see a real one, I will be working to get that for you, but from a safe distance, of course. So,
all right, buddy.
Once I get back on my feet and stuff like that, me, my dad, and a couple of friends, and hopefully these game cams, because these things cost hell of money.
Yeah.
It takes some good good shots. Because I'm going to place, once I'm able to, I'm going to place, once these guys leave, after a couple of weeks, I'm going to place them around the den area. Because I think they are migrating now. And I think that was the first one. I think that one was, what do you call one that's like been kicked out of the herd or something like that? I forgot. That's one of those.
What the heck do they call them?
That's one of those, and it wasn't that big either.
Right.
I think that one might have been a juvenile.
Or he could have been one of the ones to, come in first to check. Yeah, scout. Yep.
The scout.
Yep. So. All right, brother. Well, I am almost out of recording time. And I know I'm actually worried about you. I want you to get some rest. So, thank you very much for coming on. And you got a couple last words for everybody?
Yeah, I want to thank everybody for your prayers. Really mean a lot to me. I honestly think that's what helped me got through this tough time. And everybody just stay safe, yo. Watch your backs. If something doesn't seem right, yo, trust your instincts, man. Your instincts would never steer you wrong. God gave us instincts for a reason, so use them.
That's right. All right, brother. Have a good night, and God bless.
All right, you too. Bye.
All right, folks. I hope you all enjoyed this second half as much as I enjoyed sharing it with you. And like I said, I intend on having Luke on the show very soon. I've got a lot of new subscribers that probably are not familiar with who Luke is and what his family went through. Now, this is just a portion of what his family went through. His family no longer lives in Taylor, Mississippi. His family had to sell the property that they owned in Taylor, Mississippi, to the United States government to keep the Dogman conspiracy, cover up, whatever you want to call it. I hate using the word conspiracy, truth, quiet. There was a burrow on his land, and I believe they used his land as part of a kind of trail system. And Taylor, Mississippi has kind of always been a really decent spot to see dogmen. For those of you who don't know, Dark Waters had his experience in Taylor, Mississippi. So with that, guys, thank you for supporting this channel. You are the base of this foundation, or base of this platform. You are the foundation of this platform. And thank you so much, because without you guys, this channel would be just me talking into this mic. So guys, stay safe, happy, healthy, and God bless you all.